No, boo, you need a marketing system that still pulls in leads and sales while you recharge, regroup, or just live your life offline. Because sometimes that will be the only priority you have left when all the work is finally done. Either that or your health will suffer, and you finally vow to stop putting your health last. Am I correct? Period. Welcome to the Revolutionary CEO Podcast, the space where women building solo businesses come to create marketing systems that honor their capacity, not exploit it. I'm your host, Letitia Lynch, marketing strategist, boy mom, and woman in pursuit of a life and business that actually feels good. If you've ever been sold the dream of freedom only to find yourself trapped in someone else's version of success, this podcast is your permission slip to do things differently. Every week, I'll share real strategies for sustainable marketing and lead generation that work with your energy, your priorities, and the season you're in. You'll hear behind the scenes breakdowns of what's working in my business and with my clients, plus bonus episodes answering real questions from Revolutionary Society members. And soon, you'll hear from other women entrepreneurs redefining success on their terms, protecting their peace, their joy, and their legacy while they build. This isn't hustle culture, this isn't survival mode, this is revolutionary leadership, marketing, messaging, and momentum that matches your ambition and your real life. Hey y'all, welcome back to season 4 of the Revolutionary CEO podcast. Today we're kicking off with a brand new lens. You're seeing your girl on camera, and this season is rooted in sustainability, simplicity, and strategy that honors your actual life. Now, listen up. This episode, it's going to be part Usher's confessions, part behind the scenes, and part love note, honestly, to every solo business owner who is just tired of carrying the weight of their marketing alone. And if you've ever felt like you know what to do, but you don't have the energy to do it. You have a strategy, but your content kind of feels like it's just a full-time job and you're posting and promoting and it's still like you're not seeing these consistent leads that you're expecting, then this episode is definitely going to be for you. And if you're especially tired of overworking and overdoing it just to keep your business going and want a real system that's going to work for your energy, then again, stick around because I have something really good that is going to, I feel, change everything for you. Now, I want to let you know that season 4 is specifically inspired by the fact that in 6 months, your girl's going to be 40. And I've successfully been enjoying the fruits of the trust in the process that I've had of setting up the lead generating system that I introduced to you in season 3 and actually giving it an opportunity to work. Well, it did work. And I've consistently been hitting the 5-figure months that I once never missed, but for some reason seemed to elude me all of last year, with 2024 actually being the lowest revenue year I've ever had since the start of my business. But also, surprisingly, it was the most aligned year I've had because it's the only full year where I committed to both offers and running my business at a pace that fits my personality and energy all year long and not just sometimes. So I also wanted to let you know that funny thing is that this season is right on time for the next round of the Lead Overflow Challenge, which helps you build the same foundation that I built last year to get to where I am right now, and the same foundation that my Revolutionary Society members all have. I originally created the Lead Overflow Challenge as a way to introduce my ADAPT framework because I realized that you don't just need another way to create content. You need a way to generate leads on purpose, sustainably, strategically, and in a way that doesn't require you to sacrifice your entire day on Instagram or LinkedIn or Threads or wherever the hell you've been actively spending all day trying to find them. So this challenge is really going to be your first step to helping you do that. And I actually tested this system with my one-on-one clients last year, and I introduced it to my members this year, and the results have been wild. It's been so good. Not just in revenue, though, in ease. So if you're ready to start doing the kind of marketing that brings in qualified leads daily without requiring you to actively manage it every day for it to work, you need to be in the challenge. The link to register will actually be in the show notes, but I really want to get into what this episode's going to be about in the first place. In this episode, I'm walking you through the real reason I came back to services in the last year and what it cost me. I'm also going to talk about why, even as a strategist, I couldn't even find the capacity to do all the marketing that it typically takes to keep up with having the leads and sales flowing. I'm going to talk about how I built the exact system that I needed and why you probably need it too. I'm going to talk about what happens when you let your marketing actually work for you. And I'm going to talk about why the Lead Overflow Challenge is literally the smartest thing you'll be doing all year if you join us. So first, let's talk about me coming back to services and why it was a wake-up call. So let me be 100 with you. I came back to one-on-one last year, not only because, of course, I missed the deep strategic work and I wanted, to be in it with my clients again. But baby, those high ticket and premium services, they pay the bills. Now, do I love my membership? Hell yes. Honestly, the Revolutionary Society membership has been the best offer I've ever created, but I'm not a volume girl, and I don't just want any and everybody up in there. I like to work with a few dope clients at a time. I like low pressure, low volume sales, and that's my thing. And services really do allow for that. But here's what I forgot. I forgot how much mental bandwidth services take. Now, service providers, you know what I'm talking about. Even though I know how to market, and even though I have content frameworks for days, and even though I could pop out a carousel in 15 minutes, I didn't want to. Because client work, I feel like took my best brain hours. I'm literally giving my best marketing and content strategy ideas to other people all day long. And that's great for my clients, of course, and their businesses. Like my clients were hitting revenue records all year last year. But it's not good for my own business, which again, I already told you last year was my lowest revenue year ever in business since 2020. What was whatever low energy and low brain power I had left me no time to be consistent in my business. And you cannot simply rely on motivation to keep up with your business. And while I had heard that phrase many times, like you can't rely on motivation, I didn't truly know what it meant until last year. I was always a mixture of service provider and coach, by the way, so this wasn't new to me. But when I had more energy, when I first started my business. So launches were actually fun and easy to me. And honestly, the algorithm and even content consumption was just so different thanks to the circumstances when I started my business surrounding pandemic, loneliness, and boredom. So it was just a great cocktail at the time. But now that my energy is low, I realize that those old approaches that led to lead generation, while yes, they'd still theoretically work, I'd need to execute them with the same level of effort and energy as I had before. And I'm literally not capable of, nor am I willing to force myself to do that anymore. Oh, and I don't feel bad about that shit either, because you shouldn't. I'm telling you, neither should you. We used to get shamed by coaches for not wanting it bad enough when we don't do things that we just can't mentally or energetically or physically get behind. And I'm never going to do that to my clients. My entire job as a marketing strategist is to constantly come up with creative solutions for my clients' lack of motivation, lack of energy or capacity, or their unwillingness or inability to do something or to show up somewhere. That's my job. And speaking of my job, let's talk about how content strategy does not help your capacity to execute. Now, we all know I had the content and marketing strategy because that's what I do. I do this for a living, and I come up with dozens of marketing and content strategy ideas literally every single day between the feedback loops that I do and answer every single weekday in Revolutionary Society. And of course, I have the content clarity scans, coin collecting strategy sessions, and content clinics that I host every single month with my one-on-one clients. Coming up with these ideas isn't my issue. The issue is never coming up with the strategy for me. What I didn't have was the capacity. Mental capacity is necessary for execution. It's taking that prompt and then turning it into a content idea, then turning that content idea into a graphic or recording it as a video or writing out that email or blog post, whatever the case may be. And that's what I see so many of you struggling with. You're smart, you're brilliant, you got ideas, right? But between serving your clients, living your life, and literally trying to rest, you tapped, baby. And it's why you need a system that moves in the inevitable moments when you cannot. If you're a service provider or you have a demanding personal life, you will have so many moments when you just need to do the marketing. You need to do the marketing, but you simply can't and you won't. And you probably experience this all the time right now. And what it comes down to and what it comes with is shame and disappointment in yourself because you had to push your launch back. You didn't hit your monthly revenue goal. Your cash flow ain't flowing. And you won't be making payroll, but for yourself. Because, of course, we all know you're going to pay your team. You ain't hitting it for yourself. No, boo, you need a marketing system that still pulls in leads and sales while you recharge, regroup, or just live your life offline. Because sometimes that will be the only priority you have left when all the work is finally done. Either that or your health will suffer, and you finally vow to stop putting your health last. Am I correct? Period. Okay. The system I built, let's talk about that and what it changed. So last year, as I shared in season 3, I started building what became the foundation for the anti-launch lead generation system. And I tested it with my clients. Then I created a full repeatable framework called the ADAPT framework for it, which is the beginning of which you can try for yourself if you get your ticket for the Lead Overflow Challenge. And I brought that into Revolutionary Society this year specifically. Now, I'm not going to lie and act like it was easy trusting the process of not depending on launching because truth be told, launching is sexy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you because the results behind it are sexy. It comes with a high volume of leads, cash collected, and visibility. And it also, though, it comes with some of the highest risks to the person with high energy output, time and resource consumption, and stress, which usually then leads to other issues like sickness, problems in your personal life, neglecting the other areas of business and personal life. And quite frankly, I decided that the rewards were no longer worth the risks. But the system I built, it was a slow build. One of those, trust the process situations that really tests, I would say, your faith in yourself and your business. And I did see enough early wins that inspired me to keep going. And also, I'm not going to act like my home financial situation doesn't just allow me to take financial risks. I don't believe everyone can take it in the same exact way, meaning I believe this system will typically be built alongside more traditional sales and launch strategies that are just better aligned with your energy and capacity because nobody should be built, burning themselves out by marketing no matter what. Nobody is immune to needing to launch or do a campaign. Like you got to still do that stuff, but they should never have been built and expecting high energy output, time and resource consumption and the stressors where they were built before. In my case, though, I honestly just focused on that system. I didn't do anything else because I wanted to prove that it worked because it's my job. And I did it from October through December. I just was like, I'm just going to do this. I don't care. And this year, so 2025, what was the impact of trusting the process? Well, 2025 in business has looked like this has been the easiest business year of my life. Consistent 5-figure months. We're in June now. My best year in my personal life ever. And I haven't burnt out once. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, I have booked one too many one-on-one clients while having one too many feedback loops submitted at the same time. Yep, I sure have. And have I had to adjust my systems and processes to not allow a coin collecting strategy or a content clarity scan service to happen in the same week as a content clinic? Yes, I sure have because it's too much. Now, have I also had to block my entire calendar from services or deliverables during the Lead Overflow Challenge week and the week after to protect my brain? Yes, I've had to do those things. But honestly, I'm killing it this year while literally chilling and going through like my bucket list. Because yes, that's the answer. It's not about doing more. I've realized it's just about doing what works. And I know you have been out here doing the most because you always have needed to in order to get results. But now you're wondering, why is it no longer working and I'm still doing the most? And I suspect that the initial hunger to prove yourself into your spouse and the other people around you that your little business is a real thing has worn off. That inspiration's gone. And the novelty and newness of what's a launch. What's that? What's an offer? How do I use Dubsado? This is my first time going live. This is my first masterclass, workshop, challenge. All that novelty worn off, right? You're 8 rounds into hosting your signature mastermind. You've built dozens of websites. You done did 11 photo shoots for your clients. You filed hundreds of folks' taxes. You registered hundreds of people's trademarks, come up with dozens of strategies, set up thousands of workflows, whatever the hell it is that you do for your service. I tried to name as many as I could think. You've done it all, and you've done a lot of it over the last couple of years, so this shit ain't new to you. But you likely have a lot of other new things going on while you're still running that same business, like that new baby, that new job, or the new responsibilities at that old job, that new wife or husband or boo you're trying to actually keep. Or you just became a single mom, maybe even because of this damn business, and you're trying to navigate what that looks like now. Maybe you discovered some new health condition, or the old one has flared up something serious. But here you are trying to market like you used to, and you wondering why this shit ain't working for you today? That don't make sense. You're posting, you got offers, you're running yourself ragged to be consistent, but the leads aren't steady. Sales still aren't predictable, and everything feels harder than it should. But here's the truth. If your content should be working, but it isn't, if you're posting and still not seeing consistent leads, it ain't the offer. It's not your Instagram, LinkedIn, Threads, YouTube channel, blog. It's the system or your lack of having one. Now, the Lead Overflow Challenge is designed to force you to replace the outdated and inundated with process. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what works, but on repeat. So when your life gets busy, your business doesn't fall apart. So what's the Lead Overflow Challenge? If you haven't heard me talk about it, I'm going to simply explain it like this. It's where over 5 days, I help you. We create a realistic, I'll actually be able to keep up with this schedule. And here's what I actually have to do in that schedule in order to get leads and close sales, because it's been proven to work in the past. Then I teach you the high converting content process on the only 3 marketing channels you need to focus on for this lead generation system to keep the leads coming in, even when you take a break or go on a holiday break. The challenge is your access to me directly. I'm a marketing strategist, a content strategist, and I'm walking you through the process step by step. And I'm also giving you live strategy and content ideas directly. It's only 5 days. It's only $99, and it will change how you market forever, I swear. So get your ticket at leadoverflowchallenge.com, but the link is also in the show notes. And let's just take a breath now, and I want to bring it back though. I want to get together for a second. And if you've been feeling like you're doing everything right, posting, emailing, showing up, creating valuable offers, and you're still not seeing consistent leads or momentum, I'm already telling you, you're not broken. Your business isn't broken. But your system might very well be, because what I shared today isn't just about me turning 40 and making some reflective, deep life update posts. This season honestly forced me to reevaluate what I needed my business to give back to me and how I wanted to feel while building it. And if you're anything like me, you didn't start this business to burn out, to pump out content every single day, or constantly question if your next client will magically appear. You started this for freedom, flexibility, and fulfillment. And that doesn't happen with vibes alone. And it isn't sustainable off of motivation either. It happens with systems. That's the part that changed everything for me in the last year. Once I built a lead generation system that matched my energy and capacity, not what the industry says I should be doing, everything got easier. My content started converting. My leads got more qualified. My revenue became more predictable. And I finally had the mental space to show up for myself and my people without sacrificing my peace to make a sale. So if you're in a season where you're ready for that too, where the business being priority 1, that shit don't cut it no more, and you're done guessing, tweaking, and overthinking your content into the abyss, that's where this next step comes in. If you're ready to stop letting leads be a mystery, to stop doing all the things and still coming up short, get your ticket to the Lead Overflow Challenge to get a taste of what I'm talking about. You'll learn how to build that system, the lead generating system that fits your energy, works even when you don't want to post, and makes marketing simple again. The link will be in the show notes. Get your ticket because this season we ain't talking about hustle culture. We ain't going to be in survival mode. This will be your new normal. And I want to welcome you to season 4 and the revolutionary CEO herself. See you in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the Revolutionary CEO podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform and leave a review to let me know the moments you enjoyed most. Substackers, Spotify users, and YouTubers, leave me a comment with your biggest takeaway or questions from the episode. And be sure to connect with me on Instagram, YouTube, or Threads. I'm at Her Marketing Coach. Talk to you next week.